Here are 10 tips for Apple TV I bet some you've never seen, like changing the keyboard to a grid layout, a better way to AirPlay your photos, quickly switch between screensavers, a couple shortcuts for automating your Apple TV, and you can even change the brightness with a triple click on the remote. First up, did you know you could AirPlay to your Apple TV and actually put it in picture-in-picture? Let's say you're watching something already, and then you start a video on your phone, like the latest episode of Primary Technology. That's my tech podcast, link to subscribe above. Then you can start AirPlaying, like here in the YouTube app. Choose the Apple TV that's already playing something, and when you tap Replace, obviously the AirPlay takes over the screen. But once the AirPlay is started, you can actually go up to the little symbol, the picture-in-picture right there by the play bar, and when you click that, what you're AirPlaying will actually go in picture-in-picture, and then you can click play on what you were watching previously, and both are playing at the same time. Now, like I showed at the beginning, you can actually triple click the back button to change the brightness. Maybe you're watching late at night and you want to bring everything dim. You can actually do that in the accessibility settings. Go to the settings app on your Apple TV and then go down to accessibility. Scroll all the way to the bottom and then you'll see something called accessibility shortcut. Here you can change what a triple click on the back button does, including turning on or off closed captions. But if you go down to reduce white point, that's actually going to make everything on the Apple TV dimmer. So now I can triple click on that back arrow. You see it got brighter, triple click again, and now it's dim. Next, if you ever wanted to search for something on the Apple TV, if you don't have your iPhone around, using the on-screen keyboard can be a pain, but there's actually a better one. Go back to the settings app and then general. Here, go down to keyboard layout, and instead of auto or linear, choose grid. Now when you go to something like search for a TV show or movie, rather than that long line of letters that you have to scroll really far left and right, you actually get a grid view of the letters, which will make going back and forth way faster. Next is a better way to AirPlay your photos. Often when someone wants to share a photo or video on the TV, they'll swipe down to the control center, go to the screen mirroring settings, and then they're mirroring their entire phone. So they'll have to swipe past photos they might not want to show others, or when you go home and notifications, those all show up. Well, instead, while you're looking at a photo or video, tap the share button, then go down to AirPlay. When you AirPlay from the share menu, now it's only going to show that one photo, and it means you can navigate to other photos and videos without showing your whole camera roll. So now that photo is on screen, I can swipe down to go to my full photo library, scroll around to a different photo, tap that, and then the photo on the TV will change without my entire camera roll being visible, and it won't show notifications. Or if I swipe to go home, you won't see that on the TV either. It'll just go back to the home screen. And one of the best features, if you didn't know, is asking the voice assistant, what did they just say? Now you'll need your Apple TV remote for this, or if you're using the Apple TV remote app on your iPhone, you can still hold the side button and it will ask the voice assistant on the TV. But all you have to do is hold it and say, what did they just say? And you'll see it will go back about 10-15 seconds, turn on captions so you can read what they said, and then after those few seconds, captions will then turn off. And now we're back to normal, no captions, but I understood what they said. And remember, if you find yourself turning captions on or off a lot, add it to the accessibility shortcut, and then you can have 2 shortcuts for the price of 1. Go back to the accessibility shortcut options, and in addition to the reduce white point, I'm actually going to add closed captions as a second shortcut. Now, I'll double click the home button, go back to what I was watching, and now when I triple click the back button, I'll actually get a menu. I can choose either reduce white point to change the brightness, or turn on closed captions. It allows me to do it a lot faster than like pressing up, going to the caption settings. Now the captions are on. If I want to turn them off, I can triple click, click closed captions, and now they're off. By the way, if you want to enable multiple accessibility shorts with that triple click and the back button, you can go up to edit and actually reorder how the controls appear, so the most used ones are at the top of the list. Next, you can quickly go between different screensavers on your Apple TV. If you want to quickly go to the screensaver, click the back button once and then click it again and hold it. So click and hold, and then it'll send you directly to your screensaver. Now here's the aerial screensaver. I have a tip for that in a second, but if you click up on your Apple TV remote, now you can quickly switch between different screensaver styles, including your own photos, or go to one of the Snoopy screensavers, and you can quickly go between them in this menu. And one other bonus tip when it comes to the aerial screensavers, which are my favorite, a lot of times I like to know where this is. So rather than clicking, I can just lightly tap on the Apple TV remote and it will tell you where this location is down in the corner. You can do that from your iPhone as well. If you have the Apple TV remote app pulled up, just lightly tap on it once and you'll see it down in the corner. Next, if you have a newer Apple TV remote like this, you can click and swipe, but sometimes you might inadvertently swipe. Well, you can turn that off. If we go back to settings, this time go up to remotes and devices, and then under the ClickPad settings, rather than click and touch, you can go to click only. Now, when you're on your home screen or somewhere else, you can swipe all over that D-pad and it's not going to do anything. But you can click manually and it'll give you a little more precision and control. Now, if you close apps on your Apple TV, you might be wondering, how do you swipe them up? Well, you can double click the TV icon and that shows you all your recently opened apps. And if you wanted to close one, instead of swiping up on the D-pad, just click the up button twice and it will swipe it closed. Also, don't do that because you don't need to force close your apps ever. I have an entire video explaining why you shouldn't do it on your phone, iPad, or Apple TV. I'll link that video right up here. And by the way, in case you were wondering, yes, this is a silicone case around my Apple TV remote, but it's actually more than that. That's because this case actually has a place for an AirTag. Now, while there is a Find Remote feature on Apple TV, you can't make the TV remote make a sound. So if it gets lost in your couch cushions, you're kind of up a creek. So I like this. It makes the remote a little more ergonomic, but also has a place for that AirTag. I'll put an affiliate link down in the video description. All right, next, let's build a quick shortcut that will wake our Apple TV and also open a specific app. So here we are in the Shortcuts app. Let's tap the plus icon to start a new one. And let's search for Wake Apple TV. You'll see Wake Apple TV as an option there, and then tap on that Apple TV and you can choose one of the Apple TVs in your house. I'll choose the family room here, and now we can add a second action. I'll just search for Apple TV and you'll see this action pop up. Open app on Apple TV. You can also launch the screensaver through a Shortcuts action too. I'll tap Open App, then tap there in the blank space, choose what Apple TV you want to open this app on, and then tap where it says TV and you can choose any of the apps installed on that Apple TV. Let's choose the Disney Plus app in that second action. And now when I tap play, no matter where I am in the Apple TV, it's going to go to the Disney Plus app. A nice way to automatically wake an Apple TV and open a specific app, especially if you have young kids who might not know how to navigate the remote. Next, if you're watching a show or movie and it's hard to understand what they're saying, on recent software updates, there's an enhanced dialogue feature. To change that setting, click the up button or swipe up on your iPhone if you're using that as your remote. Go to the little audio symbol in the bottom right corner, and then you'll see the Enhanced Dialogue feature. Click into that and you get an Enhance and an Enhance More, which will really bring the dialogue forward with whatever speakers you have. All right, a couple quick bonus tips before we go. Holding the TV button, either on the remote or on your iPhone, brings up that control center. Up here, you can do things like turn on a sleep timer for the Apple TV, quickly jump to those accessibility settings or parental restrictions, which if you want information on that, I have a whole video on setting those up. I'll link that up here as well. But that's also a great way to quickly get your AirPods connected. So I'll hold the TV icon, go down to the audio menu, and then any AirPods in the vicinity connected to your iCloud account, you'll see those at the top. Click it, and now the audio from the Apple TV will go to your AirPods rather than your speakers or TV. So those are 10 plus tips for Apple TV. I have a few other videos about Apple Watch tips, iPhone, Mac, and more. I'll put a couple of those videos right here on the side. Subscribe to the channel and hit that like button before you go. Lots of tip videos, how-tos, and iOS 19 or 26, whatever it's branded, is going to be coming out soon. I'll be covering those changes right here on the channel as well. Some smart home videos down there as well. And if you want to support the channel and learn more about shortcuts, I have a shortcuts community at create.beard.fm. Over 1,500 of you have joined, which is amazing. And you can support the channel there and get access to my weekly shortcuts that I don't share in any videos, my Shortcuts GPT, and more. Thanks for watching. I'll catch you next time.
Hello, I'm CJ and I want to show you Handy. Handy is an open source speech-to-text application that you can run on your own computer. Simply press a keyboard shortcut, speak, and release, and Handy will paste whatever you said into the text field you're typing into. Let's take a look at the settings menu for Handy, and it's really simple. You have a push-to-talk mode that you can enable, and this is enabled by default, so you press and hold the keys. Or alternatively, you can turn it off so the transcription starts when you press the key combination and it stops when you press it again. And you can also change what key binding you would like to use for the transcription. So now it's mapped to Control Z. And if I turn this off, when I hit Control Z, when you look up in the top corner of my Mac here, this little transcription icon lights up. And when I click it again, it turns off and transcribes the audio. There's nothing to paste into, so it just does nothing here. So sit back, relax, and let Handy give you a hand.